Ladies and gentlemen, today we have some absolutely breaking news as of yesterday afternoon. You see, Elon Musk has just announced that the Department of Government Efficiency has officially set its sights on the numerous corrupt members of Congress. Now, folks, today we're going to have a lot to talk about, but first, it's probably best if you all hear exactly what's going on from Elon Musk himself. Take a look.
Has the DOGE team found any evidence that any of the radical left Democrats like Maxine Waters, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer have received money directly from USAID? And if so, will we be hearing about that evidence anytime soon?
Yeah. So there is a massive amount of corruption, but it is circuitous. So what happens is there's money that, obviously it's your taxpayer money, that is then sent to various government organizations who then send it to NGOs, which an NGO is a non-governmental organization, but obviously if it's a government-funded non-governmental organization, it's just an organization, it's just a government. And effectively there's a giant fraud loophole, which is that the government can send money to an NGO that is then no longer governed by the laws of the United States. So they'll send the money overseas to one NGO, then they'll go through a bunch of them, and then I'm highly confident that a bunch of that money then comes back to the United States and lands in the pockets of the people you just mentioned. But it is a circuitous route. It's not like it doesn't go directly, but let's just say that there's a lot of strangely wealthy members of Congress where I'm trying to connect the dots of how did they become rich while earning, how'd they get 20 million if they're earning 200,000 a year? It sounds, nobody can explain that. So something's, yeah, we're going to try to figure it out and certainly stop it from happening.
So you hear all of that, folks? Maybe we are finally going to get some answers as to how all of these congressional representatives, like Nancy Pelosi, for instance, became multimillionaires. In fact, check this out. I actually compiled a list of the top 10 wealthiest congressional representatives that didn't earn their money in the private sector or through inheritance. There's Nancy Pelosi, who's worth $267 million, Ron Wyden, who's worth $38 million, Suzanne Delbene, who's worth $25 million, Richard Blumenthal, who's worth $30 million, Joe Manchin, who's worth $12 million, Tammy Baldwin, who's worth $15 million, Sheldon Whitehouse, who's worth $10 million, Ed Markey, who's worth $10 million, Gary Peters, who's worth $8 million, and finally, Jackie Rosen, who's worth $7 million. And once again, folks, none of these multi-millionaire congressional representatives made their money in the private sector or through inheritance. So it does really make you wonder, how did all of these congressional representatives make all of their money? Oh, and one more thing. There's something you all might have noticed. What do all of these congressional representatives have in common? That's right. They're all Democrats. Every single one of them. That's a little bit weird. Maybe Elon Musk is onto something here. Folks, here's the reality. Elon Musk's directive for DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, to investigate members of Congress who've mysteriously ballooned their net worth while supposedly serving the people, is a direct strike at the rotting core of the political class in Washington, D.C. Let's be honest here. This isn't anything new. For decades, members of Congress have been treating Capitol Hill like their own personal ATM machine. Bribery, no-show jobs for their spouses, stock trades that magically beat the market, and cozy sweetheart deals with foreign corporations. But for the first time in U.S. history, someone with actual influence is pulling back the curtain. And who might that be? Elon Musk. Backed by the full weight of President Trump's executive authority, DOGE is now on the march, and these corrupt officials who once thought they were untouchable are finally looking at the very real possibility of jail time. Because here's the truth, right now, DOGE isn't just poking around, no, they're auditing, subpoenaing, and digging into the financial guts of every suspicious transaction tied to Congress. Pretty much, if you've gotten rich while holding public office and your numbers don't add up, you are on DOGE's radar. And you know what? Thank God for that. Now, your average congressional representative makes around $174,000 per year. Not bad, sure, but not exactly enough to buy multi-million-dollar estates, luxury vacations, and a new stock portfolio that looks like it was drawn up by Warren Buffett himself. And yet, somehow, again and again, these people end up with 7, 8, and even 9-figure fortunes. So yes, it's high time that all of us demand a little bit of transparency. We deserve to know how and why all of these elected officials on the Democrat side of the aisle get rich while holding public office. And also, more importantly, we demand consequences for those who have abused their power to do it. And folks, I'll tell you what, DOGE's mission really is crystal clear. Expose the insiders, cut out all of the waste, fraud, and corruption from inside of the federal government, prosecute the self-dealers, and clean house. This is more than a government cleanup. This is the fulfillment of President Trump's America First agenda. And folks, I'll tell you the truth. None of these corrupt congressional representatives are able to put America first if they're too busy putting themselves first, which is exactly what they've all been doing. And I'll tell you what, the great thing about Elon Musk leading this charge is that we're in good hands because Elon Musk doesn't need their money. He doesn't care about their cocktail parties. He doesn't fear the media hit jobs. He's above all of it because you know why? He's the richest man in the world. He literally does not need their money. And folks, that is why Washington, D.C. hates Elon Musk. It's because they know they can't buy him. Now, of course, as all of this is happening, the fake news left-wing progressive media is already melting down. They're saying this is dangerous, this is authoritarian, this is a political witch hunt. But here's what they won't say, that all of this is actually working. We're already seeing DOGE's financial teams cross-reference congressional disclosures with real-time trading activity. They are following the money. They are finding the discrepancies. And now, as things currently stand, there's pretty much nowhere that all of these Washington, D.C. swamp beasts can hide. And so, folks, I really have to say, this is what America First looks like in action. A government that actually works for us rather than against us. A system built on truth and transparency rather than treachery. And hey, with Elon Musk at the helm of DOGE and Trump back in the Oval Office, this swamp is getting drained, swamp beast by swamp beast. And you know what, folks? Because the Democrats keep on asking, is this what you guys voted for? Yes, this is exactly what we all voted for. Now, before we wrap up with today's video, I want to say real quick that I've actually gone ahead and made a community Facebook page where I'll be posting additional news and updates as it relates to all of this stuff. So hey, if you guys use Facebook, check out the pinned comment down below and give that page a follow. But everyone, that is going to be a wrap for today's video, so please go down below in the comment section and let me know what you think about all of this. Please like the video while you're down there, if you like the video, that is. As I like to say, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton. Thank you all very much for tuning in today, and of course, as always, stay safe.